I haven't been doing this for a while, but I decided to do a hot take on some basketball news that's been happening recently. First of all, regarding the recent Paul Pierce saying he's better than Dwayne Wade, you expect that. Honestly, I don't know why so many people are shocked to hear him say that. And I'm not saying this about Paul Pierce in general, but I think most superstar athletes have some sort of ego, and Pierce has a relatively big ego. I'm not shocked to hear him say that he feels like he's a better player. And I think there is some misinterpretation in there where everyone's saying that, that Paul Pierce thinks he has a better career, laughing my ass off. What I heard him say was that he felt like he was a better player, and if he'd had the same advantages that Dwayne had, he could have had a better career, which, to be fair, Paul does have a point there. A young Dwayne had a guy like Shaq and a lot of other veterans to lean on, and then Dwayne in his prime got to work with his best friend LeBron. I'm just saying, like you had Pierce, I don't even remember most of the teammates he had at Celtics. And not until they had the big four with an older Paul Pierce, an older KG, an aging Ray Allen, and an unknown Rondo, and a couple of other bigs who kind of disappeared after a few years, like Perkins and Glenn Davis. I'm just saying, he never worked with a Paul Pierce in his prime combined with a LeBron or a Shaq in their prime. That would have been a dominant team. I agree with what he says. Fight me, bro. Come at me. Second of all, I actually wanted to talk about the NBA playoffs. Well, everyone's talking about the Warriors and how long will they continue their dominance, and I want to weigh in on this conversation. Well, first of all, I'm going to say I think the Warriors are still the best team in the league. They're so dangerous, so athletic, they're scary good. I think there are 4 teams that, I think if they play their best, I could easily see them winning a series. And that's the Rockets, the Thunder, the Raptors, and the Bucks. Now, you look at the Bucks, this is a team that right now I think their biggest issue is, 1, they're having trouble staying healthy, and 2, there is a lack of experience there in the postseason. But that being said, this team, when they're 100% healthy, they are very long, very athletic. They've got shooters. They've got depth. They're really good defense with a head coach that has a lot of playoff experience as an assistant. It's a team that can put up a good challenge. And then you look at the Raptors. I don't feel like nobody's talking about them enough. Yes, there's a lot of new pieces in place, a lot of new players, new head coach, but look at the pieces that they got. Yes, they're new, but you got a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year in Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi and Danny have both won a championship. They went to back-to-back finals. Ibaka has been to the finals with the Thunder. Gasol, Defensive Player of the Year, and even though he's never been to the finals, he's had multiple Game 7 series in the playoffs. They've got a lot of playoff experience in there. They've got incredible defenders. The biggest question for me is, 1, Nick Nurse, still unproven as a coach. There's some question there. But that being said, he has the right talent in place to be successful. And then you've got the point guard position, which I feel is probably the biggest question. Kyle Lowry has notably disappeared when the playoffs come around. So is he going to choke again, or is he actually going to step up to the plate this time? Because honestly, that for me is the biggest question mark, the biggest X factor. If Kyle Lowry can actually play as well in the postseason as he does in the regular season, I feel like the Raptors, because of all the playoff experience that they have on their roster now, have the best shot of making it to the finals and possibly winning it. Especially with the development of Pascal Siakam, he's turned into a really great player. And, Jeremy Lin, I don't think we're ever going to see Linsanity again, but if he can be a consistent piece off that bench, it definitely improves their chances. And then, of course, you go to the West. The Rockets, if Chris Paul hadn't got injured, they would have been in the finals last year. Their roster's a little bit different. They're not as great defensively, but the offense is so smooth, and Harden is playing like Jordan at times, at least offensively speaking. His defense still needs work. That being said, if Chris Paul and James Harden are playing their best and the role players are, the contributors are doing their job, just doing what they need to, and hitting a few shots here and there, getting a few stops in here and there, yeah, the Rockets have a legitimate chance to win. They're a dangerous team. And the Thunder, yes, they've dropped to 8th. Actually, I think they've risen back to 7th now. It's hard to keep up. I need to check the standings again. But definitely, you look at their roster, all you need, and the thing I like about basketball is that a superstar can make up the difference between a good team and a bad team. However, it can make up some of the difference. It's hard to carry a franchise when it's just one good player surrounded by 12 horrible players. That being said, you've got two Hall of Famers in Paul George and Russell Westbrook. Both of them have had 40-point triple-doubles in this season. So, while I don't think they're going to average 80 points a game in the playoffs, this is a team that is so explosive and athletic. They've got length, they've got defense. The depth is a huge concern, but I think, if they're playing up to their potential, this is a team that can really make a big challenge. So those for me are the teams that have the best shot. And then there are some others that I think I wouldn't be shocked to see them win. I don't actually expect it in a 7-game series. Like, I'll say the Spurs, which, once again, wouldn't be shocked to see them if they did somehow happen to win. Definitely not expecting it, just because, Popovich, his experience as a coach, it can make up the difference for what they lack in chemistry and experience on the roster right now. Plus, you do have two multiple time All-Stars leading the team right now. With DeRozan and Aldridge, you've got Pirtle, who's developing into a great center. You've got Rudy Gay, who's still coming off of an injury. He really seems to be hitting his stride lately. A young developing point guard in Derek White. I don't think it's gonna happen this year, but I feel like this is a team that if you sleep on them, they can surprise you. And another team from the West, I think a lot of people are sleeping on Denver just because they have no playoff experience. They're a talented team. They're number 2 in the West for a reason, and especially just because they do have home court advantage. I think this team is capable of stealing a win on the road, and they'd only need one. But I don't think I don't think they're going to lose too many playoff games at home. So this is a team that could pull off an upset. And then, the Blazers, I had a lot more faith in them before their center went down, because that guy was turning into like a true beast. I mean, he wasn't going to put up Shaq numbers, but still, he definitely added to what they were doing, and I think that's going to end up hurting them, especially in the playoffs. And then, looking back to the East, two others that I just want to mention real quick. The Celtics, which I know they've got their issues, but can you really deny the talent? The talent is there. They probably got more depth than any other team in the league. If they ever do somehow manage to figure shit out and learn how to consistently work together, I mean, this is a team that's capable of literally just taking whatever the defense gives them. I mean, just move the ball around and, whoever you decide to leave open, he'll get 20 points. And so This is one of the only teams in the league that can really boast that. That they can put so many people on the floor that are capable of doing it, and that's probably why they've struggled. Just trying to figure out how they make that work. But if they do figure it out, they might be the most dangerous team in the East. I don't know if I can have faith in their ability to figure it out at this point. And then, of course, the one that a lot of people have been talking about, the 76ers. Definitely one of the longest, most athletic teams in the league. They've improved their depth. They've got shooters. They're scary, but I have trouble believing in them just because they've been so inconsistent. You never really know which version of them you're gonna get. But like I said, they are probably, as far as talent level is concerned, they might be one of the scariest teams in the East. because they've got their entire starting lineup is deadly at times. So, well, yeah, that's my opinion. I just want to throw my hat in the ring and say some of the things that have been on my mind. I miss talking about the league. I stopped covering it just because there's always so much going on and it's hard to keep up with it throughout the entirety of a season. But I wanted to throw my opinion out there. Also, I heard a debate happening: who's better, Devin Booker or Spider Mitch? And look, no offense to Mitchell, he's an amazing player. He could run circles around me easily, and I have no right to criticize him. But here's the thing: I'm not criticizing him personally. I'm criticizing the narrative around him. And I never would made a video of this, and I actually need to double check. I don't know who ended up winning. Rookie of the Year definitely deserved to go to Ben Simmons. There's this argument about, well, technically not a rookie or whatever. I get that. But if you look at how he himself actually played, I feel like Ben Simmons was the better of the two. Mitchell is getting a lot of credit for the Jazz winning. But look at it, though. When they had, a 20-game winning streak last season, that coincided with Rudy Gobert, Defensive Player of the Year, by the way, getting healthy and coming back in the lineup. And that's why I think it's ridiculous that when people talk about, who would you rather start a franchise with, Donovan Mitchell or Devin Booker? And then Devin Booker has 150 points over a 3-game span. And then you're looking at Donovan Mitchell and saying, well, he's had the wins. He's on a better team. I can name 2 or 3 players on the Phoenix team total. But Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, he's got a solid veteran point guard in Ricky Rubio. Joe Ingles has really developed. They got Millsap too. Oh no, Favors. I get those two confused. But he's got solid veteran team around him. And that's why the team has been successful. People keep forgetting sometimes that basketball is a team sport. Once again, I'm not dissing Donovan Mitchell. I have a lot of respect for Donovan Mitchell. Solid-ass player. He's going to be one of the greats. Devin Booker is better. Let's be real, though. Devin Booker is really the only reason anyone pays attention to Phoenix right now. And the reason everyone's giving Donovan Mitchell the credit for the Jazz winning because he's their leading scorer. But I would venture to say he's only the second most important player on the team behind Rudy. And then I also just wanted to put a hot take on college. I don't really watch the NCAA tournament or that much or anything else, but I'm keeping up with the news, mostly on the women's side, because I do still cover the WNBA. And I just want to say it's kind of funny if I honestly want to know how Breanna Stewart thinks. Like, Stewie, if anyone ever shows you this video, just let me know. I know you want your team to win because, like, it's always going to be your school. You're always going to love them and root for them. But it's got to feel good to know that, hey, we won a championship every single year that I played, and since I left, they can't even get back to the finals. I feel like there's got to be this small sense of pride knowing that, all those banners, that was all me. Since I left, y'all can't do shit. Anyways, those are my hot takes for the day. Let me know how much you disagree with me. Go ahead, fill the comment section telling me how stupid I am. I know I'm gonna get it. I don't care. You're welcome to disagree with me. I'm saying these things specifically because I disagree with the narrative. But don't mind my feelings. I really don't care what you think of me, honestly.